Hi, Prior Lake staff. My name is Russ Reitz. I'm Prior Lake Savage District Technology Integration Trainer. And today I'd like to give you a few tips and tricks on using your new Microsoft Outlook email. And when you enter your email, you have some options on how you'd like to view your email. You can grab any one of these columns and drag them to move them. Some people don't like to see all of the information about who's emailing. Some like to have this preview here. Others don't want to have a calendar on the side. So you can click and drag these to manipulate what it is you would like to view. You can also go into the view drop down. If you don't like the preview, you can go down to reading pane and shut it off. And this is kind of what you used to see in our GroupWise Outlook. Um, you had your folders here on the right, and you had your email information down the middle with no preview. If you'd like to turn the preview on, you have two options. You can put the preview on the right hand side, which is what I prefer, or you can put the preview at the bottom. The nice feature with preview is you can sort of read almost the entire message without opening it. And if you have those undesirable emails that come in and you're sort of unsure whether or not you should double click and open it, this does give you an option of reading that before actually opening the email. Again, I like to have my reading pane on the right hand side. You have buttons here that are similar to Microsoft Word. You can do most everything by using the icons on the screen without actually opening the email. So for instance, my first email here, I could delete. From here, I could print, I can move this to a folder. I could drag this email to a folder by just clicking and dragging and picking which folder I'd like to move it into. I can reply to this email. I can reply all, forward. So get used to using some of these desktop icons. Again, very similar to Microsoft Word. Outlook in everything you do has many features that are exactly like Microsoft Word if you've used that product. Uh, Take a look at this new drop down. When I click the arrow, I get lots of different options. I can do a new mail message from here. I can insert a new folder from here. I can do a new meeting request, a new contact, a new distribution list. This is the easiest way to get into many of the features Microsoft Outlook has to offer. If I go down to new mail message, a new message box pops up, and there's a couple different features I'd like to show you with this message box. First, a lot of you have asked about blind carbon copy. This is what you'll typically see when you open up your message. If you wanted to add blind carbon copy, you click Options and Show BCC. Easiest way to add blind carbon copy. Um, from this menu, if you want to reach your contacts or your distribution list, click the To button. The default is set up for your global address list. If you double click here to your drop down menu, you can search your own contacts or go into your global contact list. Global contact list, you can search names, and those names should show up. One issue that we're having in our district is some of the names are showing up last name, first name, and some are showing up first name, last name. Unfortunately, there's no easy fix for that, so you may end up searching last name first or first name before you find the person. When you find the person you'd like to email, just click if you'd like to send it a normal email, a carbon copy, or a blind carbon copy to that person. If I just picked random people here and click OK, it's sending the email to me. Sally's going to be CC'd, and Ryan is going to be blind carbon copied. Some other options that you have here, you can send a delivery receipt. This means if you check this box, when the email is delivered to those inboxes, you will get an email in your inbox confirming delivery of your email. If you request a read receipt, when that person opens the email, they have an option. They can choose to send you a read receipt or they can decline to send you a read receipt. If they click yes, you'll get a read receipt in your inbox notifying you that the person you sent the email to has read the email. It's not a perfect system. If the viewer wants to decline, they can, and you won't know whether or not they've read the email. A lot of people have talked or asked questions specifically about the differences between Novell and Outlook. This is a major difference. In Novell, you had a properties tab. You could go in and view if the email had been sent or if it had been read or deleted. You don't have that ability in Microsoft Outlook. So that's sending a message. Many of you have asked specifically about a couple different options. If you go under Tools and Options and you go to Mail Format, there's two things I'd like to show you. First is Stationery and Fonts. If you click Stationery and Fonts, this is where you'd be able to go in and pick a theme, pick a background, pick a font. Very similar to how you would pick a background or a theme or font in Microsoft PowerPoint. So you would just go through those simple steps. If you wanted to add a signature, what Microsoft Outlook allows you to do is have multiple signatures. So the first thing you do is type new. I'm going to add a middle school AD signature. It's going to ask what you'd like to put in your signature box. Once you have what you'd like, click OK. And what you need to remember when you go into signatures is there's a drop down here. If I want my new messages to all have my normal signature, and I want all my replies and forwards to have my normal signature, I'm going to click OK. Click OK. Now if I go into an email, I have an option on what signature I'd like to include in my email. If I click middle school AD, my regular signature, or even tech trainer, those signatures will come up, and then I can send my email with a specific signature to that person. Other things I'd like to show you. A lot of people have asked if you can retrieve an email that you have sent out. So I'm going to send myself an email here. Call it a test email. I'm going to hit send. Now, if I sent an email and I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot the attachment, or I want to go back in and change something, or I wish I wouldn't have sent that email, if you go into your sent items, you should be able to view the email. Here it is right here. If I click that email, and I go into other actions here, this drop down here, it says recall this message. Click recall this message, delete unread copies of this message, delete unread copies and replace with a new. I just want to delete it, and I want it to tell me if it's successful or if it fails. So it says you attempted to recall this message. I'm going to click out of this, and I go back into my inbox. As long as the email has not been read by the person that sent it, it will be removed from the inbox. It has been removed from my inbox, which means it's successful. I will get an email here in a second that says message recall was a success, which is right here. So that's how you recall a message. A lot of you have also asked how you turn off these indicators, because they are kind of annoying whenever you're teaching. You have an icon right here. It says Microsoft Outlook. If you right-click this icon at the bottom right-hand screen, it says Show Me New Desktop Alert. It's been checked. If I uncheck it, I will no longer get desktop alerts on my computer screen. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this email. Let's talk quickly about distribution lists and address books. Your contacts are right here. Now, the district had an issue with bringing contacts over from Novell GroupWise. Some people got their contacts, some people didn't. I had some people's contacts came in under their name and some came in under contacts right here. If you have contacts that came in under your name, it's very difficult to send an email from this. What I would suggest doing is select all and drag them over into your contacts so they're in this contacts folder. The easiest way to add new contacts or distribution lists is not to go through this contacts tab here, but to use the icon for new contacts or address book right here. So I'm going to click here, and a menu comes up with our current global address list. If I go File, New Entry, I have two options. I can add a new contact or a new distribution list. If you're adding new contacts and you want them all into a distribution list, my advice would be to add them as a contact first. A lot of people add new contacts in the distribution list, but they aren't showing up as a single person in the email. So I'm going to do new contact. I'll type in Jane Doe, go down to email, jdoe@gmail.com. And I need to click save and close. A lot of people are adding these people. They're exiting out here. They're not saving and closing it, and those people aren't showing up in their contact list. Now, if I want to send Jane Doe an email, new, click to, contacts, and I find Jane Doe. Click OK. There comes Jane Doe up in my address list. If I want to do a new distribution list, click that address book again, File, New Entry, New Distribution List. This is going to allow you to select members from your current global address list, which is here, all of the people that are within Prior Lake Savage Schools. I'm just going to select a few here. I'll start with Alyssa, click down to Amy, and get everybody in between. Click Members, click OK. They are now part of the distribution list. I'm going to title this Test List. Now, if you want to add members that are not part of our global address list, just click Add New. And you can enter these people in. I'll invite Jane's brother, Joe. joedoe@gmail.com. Now, Joe Doe is going to be part of this address list, but he's not going to be in my frequent contacts list. So if you wanted to email Joe Doe individually, you also have to add him to your frequent contacts. If I want to add somebody that's already in my contacts, but is not in the global address list, just go to this drop-down menu, Contacts, find the person you want. I'll say I want to add Mark Draper to this. He's in my contacts. There it goes. Remember to hit Save and Close, or this will not be in your address book. If you're on a committee and you've put together a distribution list for everyone on that committee and you want to share this distribution list, you can share it with anyone else on the committee from right here. So you could hit Send. You want to make it in internet format, and you can send it to anybody in the distribution list or in your contact list that uses Outlook that you'd like to share it with. They'll be able to drag that into their distribution list, and you'll be sharing that contact list together. So I hit Save and Close. If I want to send an email to that new distribution list, I go into To. I'm going to go into My Contacts. I'm going to find the test list that I just put together. I click To, OK, and I send that out. Now this is the expanded list, so it is viewable to the person you're emailing. If you would like to not allow people to view who is in your distribution list, if those emails should not be seen by others, you can blind carbon copy the contact list that you created and you'd like to send out. Just hit BCC. And now even if you were to expand that, no one is going to be able to see who's in it because it's in a blind carbon copy. That's why we use blind carbon copy. Other issues are with Calendar. Now the Calendar method is really an awesome tool in Microsoft Outlook. Outlook is more than just an email provider. It's really a collaboration tool. I have 3 different calendars here. The first one is my personal calendar. And you can share these calendars with other people, and you can choose which detail you'd like to share it with them. So for instance, a low detail isn't going to give them much information. Medium is going to kind of shadow when you have things planned, and if you give them high, it's going to show them exactly what you have in your calendar. Easiest way to share this, if I wanted to share my personal calendar, I just right click it, scroll down to Share. I'm going to decide who I'd like to share this with. If they're in the distribution list, you should be able to find them. For some reason, it's not always on the land. It doesn't land always on the right name. Or if they're in your global, your personal contacts, you can find them in there and share it with that person. Notice it says request permission to view recipient's calendar. That will send them requests that you'd like to also have their calendar in your Outlook under My Calendars. There's ways in which you can share the calendar and allow them editing privileges. If you go to Change Sharing Privileges, I right-clicked again. You can add the person to this and put exactly what you'd like them to be able to do to your calendar. So right now I'm allowing Dana Reitz to create items, to edit all items, to create subfolders. She's getting full details. If you just wanted a clerical person or someone in your building to see that you're either free or busy during a specific time, you have some different options here that you could choose. So I'm going to click Apply, click OK. Now if I send this calendar out as a shared calendar to Dana Reitz, she's going to be able to make changes on that calendar, which we will both see. One thing I want you to remember, when we type in names into this To box, GroupWise used to recognize them immediately. If you see it's now underlined, it takes Outlook a little bit longer to go into the address book and find them, but if you do type the name correctly, it will find Dana Reitz. So it found Dana Reitz. If I click send, that calendar is going to be sent to her, and it's now a shared edited calendar. Creating new calendars. I've created a tech trainer calendar and a track and field calendar. You can view all three of them all at the same time. You can put them all on top of each other. So you have all of the dates. They'll be color coded based on what your calendar is set up for. If I wanted to do a new calendar, I can go up to new, click that arrow again, go down. I click calendar, ask what you want to title it. I'll title this one football. Click OK. And now football is here. It's my green calendar, and I can edit, add dates, do whatever I want with that calendar. And again, this is something that I could share with the entire football staff and give them permission to make changes, edits, things like that. It's an awesome tool. It's really simple to add dates. If I just click the 8th, I want to add something on the 8th. It's going to ask what I want to add. I'll add post-season meeting. Location, 292. What time is this event going to take place? I choose the time. Let's say it's at 3 o'clock. It's usually set at about a half an hour. And I click save and close. And there it is. And it just gives me a notification that I'm 3 weeks late because it's past November 8th. But that's how you add dates. You can always edit these things. Let's say I want to make this for December 8th instead because I screwed up. There you go. Now if I go to December 8th, there's my postseason meeting. And it should give me a reminder when I'm looking at my mail. If I go to November 8th or December 8th, there's my postseason meeting. Pretty easy to navigate. If you have any questions in Microsoft Outlook, I'd be happy to help you. Again, you can email me at rreitz@prairielake-savage.k12.mn.us, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.